Yeah, we thought it would be good to have like a closing point for an era. So that was the reason why we thought about putting all the songs together on an album, because well, we wouldn't have to. We could just keep on releasing single after single, but we wanted this era to end, to begin a new era. I think it's good for the mental not the mental health, but
I
the
just
mental
like,
state of just developing the band and the music.
hey, Robin, how are you?
Hey, Adam. All good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I appreciate you and Lela doing this. Thank you so much.
You're
Sure,
welcome.
of course.
Awesome. Well, this is about the two of you and your journey in music, and we'll talk about obviously the new album, Transience.
Perfect.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um, so I always start off first, born and raised. Lela, let's start with you. Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in southern Germany,
Okay.
close to Stuttgart, in a small town, small village.
How was that?
Oh yeah, it was nice. We've yeah, it was like an hour drive to the next big city, so very small town, lovely. I still like
Yeah.
it.
Like for your school and everything, did you know like every kid? Like, was it the same kids through the beginning to the end of high school, or however you guys?
Ah, not really. When I think it's high school, the in Germany, is it high school, gymnasium? I'm asking Robin, I'm not sure. When I went there, it was in the next bigger town, and I had other people around me,
Okay.
but still very familiar. Yeah.
Very cool. And do you come from like a musical household or a creative family at all?
Yes, yes, my grandfather, he has a music school, and
Wow.
he's a great musician himself, and yeah, I think that's where I have it from.
Okay. What about your parents? Since your grandfather has a music school, is it your mom's or dad's dad?
It's my mom's dad.
Okay.
And my mom, she also sings and plays several instruments, just like I do. And my father, he always tries to join, and he does his best. Yeah.
Very cool. Do you have siblings that play at all, or?
Yes, I have a smaller brother, and
Okay.
he used to play the drums when he was a child, and now unfortunately he's 21, I guess, and now there are other things that are more important than the music, but I hope he will get back to it soon.
All right. Very cool. And where did you start as far as music goes? Did you join piano lessons or anything like that at an early age?
Yes, at a very early age, I just was trying out every instrument that my grandfather had at his home, and I started singing when I was very, very young. And I even had my first concert when I was 7 with my grandfather.
Wow. What did you sing?
Yes, I sang. I sang like yeah, children's music.
What did your grandpa play in the performance?
He also sang with me, and I'm not sure if he played the piano or even the saxophone. Could be
Wow.
both. Yes.
Awesome. And then
Yeah.
did you attend his school or just learn from him directly?
I just learned from him directly,
There you
and
go.
well, I taught myself most of the things that I play today. But yeah, he was always open for some questions that I had, and but I took piano lessons when I was, I think, 8. When I was 8
Okay.
until I was 16 or something.
Wow. Awesome. All right, Robin, what about you? Were you born and raised in Southern Germany as well?
Yes, right. It's another city. It's called Freiburg. It's like on the most south point in Germany, I think so. Yeah, born and raised there. Uh,
Was that
and
fairly
then moved.
close to where Layla grew up or not really?
Kind of. I think it's like 2 or 3 hours away from there.
Okay, so not
So
super close.
yeah, not super close. For Germany relations, it's yeah, I'd say it's still close, but
Not super
yeah,
close. Very cool.
not
And
super
what
close.
about you? Like, did you grow up with music or a creative household at all?
Not at all, I'd say. I mean, my mother,
Okay.
she's kind of creative, but more like in drawing stuff and all that. But I've never really invested anything in that. Um, so I think I started learning the guitar with 16 or 17 or something, and took a
Okay.
few hours, and yeah, played a little bit. But friends of mine, they really, or soon after that, they started like being in a band,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, they asked me if I want to join, and I was obviously the worst guitar player, so they had two better ones, and then I had to go to the microphone and yeah, perform
Oh,
some
so
harsh
that's when you
vocals.
started. Yes. Is that when you started like a hardcore sound?
Yeah, right. That's when I started. And yeah, fun fact is that one of these guitar players is Mariusz Milinski, and he's the guy who's nowadays shooting all our music videos.
Oh, really? Is he the guy in
Yeah,
like the little clip that you all put up where he has like the dolly and he's pushing the camera?
yes,
Oh, and they
right.
kind of like interview him as well, right? Like he's talking about the video.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
That's correct.
cool. Wow, that's
S-
awesome. So you
s-
guys stayed in touch, obviously.
Yeah, we're good friends, and he's from the same city as I, and yeah, had some
Cool. And you played in
run-ins.
bands, and then Venues started prior to Lela joining, right? You joined in the band later.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I mean, the
So
whole project started. It's kind of hard to tell because there was a lot of development and the project had a different name and all that,
mhm.
and like totally different people in there. But I think we really started in 2015 because this was when we first hit the studio and tried to be more professional, record 3 songs, and see where we are going.
Yeah. So how did that start? So you finally kind of came up band name, sound, all that stuff. Go to the studio, and then from there, were you just playing locally around Germany, or like when did the band kind of start to really move as far as like people attending shows and you know all that stuff?
Yeah, it's also a little bit hard to tell because I think we released the first real single with a music video back in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And after releasing this one, we had a little bit of traction and buzz, and we're playing a few festivals, a few bigger ones actually. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we were like a local band from the south of Germany, and I think the first real cool thing that we did was in early 2017, where we played our first tour with
Mm-hmm.
a band called To the Reds and Wolves. Um, they don't exist anymore, but their clean singer is now the singer of Electric Callboy.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah, that was the first real thing that we did after a
Mm-hmm.
few festivals. And yeah, then we dropped the first record, our debut album Aspire in 2018.
And
And
you
I think,
signed with a Rising Empire at that point, right?
yeah, right.
And so that must have been pretty cool or a big moment, like getting signed that because even the newest album's still on that label.
Yeah, absolutely. We're like super happy with the Rising Empire. They are doing a great job and helped us a lot to get where we
Mm-hmm.
are now. And yeah, we also partnered up after this album with Contra Promotion. They are our
Wow.
booking agency,
Yeah.
and they are also doing a great job. And yeah, both of these partners are helping us a lot to,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, spread the word about us and play a lot of shows. It's pretty nice.
Amazing, amazing. And then at one point, I want to talk about Layla, and then you joined what 2019 ish.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so prior to this band, what were you doing? How do you end up meeting Robin, and how do you kind of eventually then join Versus? I mean
Um,
Venues.
yeah, I had a few smaller projects from time to time, and I've been on the road a lot, but nothing really big. So
Mhm.
I can't tell any name that you will know. So I was like making music for not really for myself, but in smaller projects. Yeah.
Were you
But
writing the songs in those and singing in those bands?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Although I always had a solo project where I did my own kind of music and played the piano or guitar. Yes, and
Was
then
it any of it heavy like you guys are doing now?
yeah, not at all. No, I was
Interesting. Okay.
I was completely out of this hardcore scene. Well, I knew some bands, and I had a phase when I was like 16 where really liked to listen to bands like Parkway Drive or Heaven Shall Burn, but it
Okay.
was just a pretty small phase, and that was all. And I never made this kind of music myself. Yeah, but I had a YouTube channel, and I wanted to put up some videos where I meet bands backstage before their show and play a song with them, jam around with them. And that's what I did with Steel Panther in, I think it was 2016 or 17. And at this concert, Konstantin, our prior guitar player, was there. And it happened to be a cool night because the Steel Panther, they took me on stage and let me sing a song with them. And
Really?
yes.
Wow. They were a big, they're like that, like kind of like butt rock, like, hair rock, right? And they do
Yeah,
covers. Is that they do mainly covers, right? Or they write originals now?
they have original songs.
I
Yeah.
think they started as like a cover band, right? Or am I thinking of somebody
Could
else?
be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they're
Could
from America.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
okay. I remember they used to play this in this. I grew up in San Diego on the beach, and it was like they played this venue all the time where they would do. It was like a beach club, and they would do a ton of covers. They bring people on stage. It was
Ah,
like
okay.
this whole act. It was really rad. And then they
Ah,
started getting huge. Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, they played in Stuttgart. It was a Porsche Arena, and I think it fits maybe, are there 7,000 people? I'm not sure.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a big show. Yeah,
And
yeah.
you got
So
to go and you met them and went backstage and what did a song and what interview them or something for your YouTube channel?
yes, exactly. I was jamming with their singer, and we just played a few songs, and I filmed it off of my YouTube.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then yeah, they invited me on stage for one
Wow.
song, and
What'd
yeah,
you do? Do you remember? One of theirs, obviously.
yeah, one of their songs.
What was
No,
it with Girls a Dozen or something like that? What was the title?
no, no, no. Whoa, I'm not sure. I
It's
got
all
this,
right.
but I don't know how it's called. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, but Konstantin, our prior guitar player, he was in the crowd and he was taking a video of me singing there. We didn't know
Hmm.
each other. We just, yeah, we were friends on Facebook, I guess, but we didn't really meet in person before.
Hmm.
And after this concert, we met in the crowd and we were talking to each other. And I told him it would be cool if you could send me the video of my performance with Steel Panther, because obviously I didn't film it because I was on stage.
Yeah.
So that's why we exchanged numbers, and we got to know each other on a personal level.
Hmm.
And I think it was 2 years later or even 3 years later, he wrote me a message asking if I wanted to join Venues, maybe because they're searching for a new singer. Yeah, and that's how I got into the band.
Wow. Okay, so Robin, you guys, it must have been, I mean, you have your band is doing things. I mean, obviously you're signed and you have an album out, and then your singer, what, leaves the band or they went on to pursue different things, correct? The original, prior to Lela.
Yeah, she decided to leave the band by the end of 2018,
Hmm.
due to some health issues and stuff like
Okay.
that, and starting a career, job-wise, and all that stuff, you know. Yeah, so the rest of us boys, we were like, wow, okay, that's a big bummer. Um,
Yeah.
but we all, yeah, were on the same page, and we were sure that we wanted to definitely continue this whole project. So we said, all right, maybe we just start looking for a new singer, and let's see if we maybe can find someone. And yeah, and Konstantin told us that he
You
knows
found someone.
somebody that he would like to invite to a rehearsal, and we're like, okay, yeah, why
Yeah.
not? Let's try it. And yeah, this is when Lela came for the first time, and we all met in person. And yeah, we had our first rehearsal together. And yeah, we
Did you
were
know at that
all
point we're like, okay, she's the thing. She's the real deal. We're gonna put her in the band.
at this point. Before the rehearsal, not really. I was like, oh, okay. I heard a few singing recordings from her. I was like, okay, yeah, it's okay, it's cool, but let's
Ah,
see.
it's okay.
But yeah, but then we did the rehearsal, and I was like, wow, okay, it sounded pretty sick, and I realized that she's a massive singer. So after that, the decision was clear.
Yeah.
we want to continue with her.
What was that like, Lela, joining a band that had kind of already established itself in a way, and then you're coming in as here's you're the new, vocalist or front person in the band. Was that uh, like what was that like? Got to go out to these fans that won't know you, and you're, now the new, you know, like I said, singer of the band. So you're coming into something totally going already. Was that like weird in the beginning, or did you feel like you had to kind of win over the crowd or win over their prior fans?
Oh, well, it was super exciting and a bit overwhelming, and I didn't really know what it really meant when I joined the band, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I was just super excited and grateful for the chance. But since this whole genre was new for me, I had to, well, I wouldn't say that I was under pressure, maybe a bit, because I had to keep this project running, which
Mm-hmm.
like it's all eyes on me. Nobody
Right.
knows me
That's
now.
yeah. Nobody knows you, and you're coming out there, and it's like, okay, here's our new singer.
Yeah,
You're like, yeah. You have a whole new fan base to kind of that already was fans of the band to kind of win over, right?
yes, and they're gonna listen very closely to how I sound like
They
and to what I'm
critique
doing.
you and all that. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah, but it went well. I would say the first few shows were the hardest ones for me personally, but I would say I grew into this role pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And we hit the studio pretty soon after I joined, I guess in September. Well, the first show was March or April or something, and in September we were in the studio to record our first song that I co-wrote with the guys, which was also new for me, like songwriting in this kind of music and going to the studio to a professional, real studio. So I've never been there before. I did the recordings myself at home before.
Oh wow. What was that like? Was that intimidating? Like now you're in this studio and there's money on the line, as far as like there's people being paid to be there and you got to work with producers and what was that like?
Yeah, that was also super exciting. Um, yeah, I can't really describe it. It's like I was very nervous for the first few notes that I had to sing in the studio. I was very nervous because I knew that everybody was listening, and like on stage, everybody wants to know how I am working when I'm in the studio, and
Right.
I didn't know that myself because I didn't do it before. Yeah, but I mean, the guys were from the beginning on like a small family, and they welcomed me with open arms. So they made it a bit easier,
Hmm.
um, of course. And yeah, it was just small moments where I was very nervous, and it got pretty good and easy very soon. So yeah.
Oh. And prior to going in the studio to record that song, were you having to learn their old ones, like sing the other lyrics? And was that a challenge, or you just listened to a
Um,
bunch of recordings and were like, okay, I got this?
Yeah, not really. I'm pretty good at learning new lyrics, and yeah, that's usually no problem for me since
Yeah.
I did very much many cover songs before, so that's
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much the same. It's just
Sure, sure. And then
yeah, that
going for you, Robin, going in the studio, now you have a new vocalist. And how were you feeling about like, okay, now we got to present this new song. It's gonna sound different, obviously, because there's a different person singing. Were you all just excited? I mean, you have a label and everything else. You got to probably get them on board and everything else. What was that process?
Um, I would say it was, yeah, pretty chill for me.
Hmm.
I was also pretty exciting because, yeah, to be honest, I told our partners, hey guys, stay tuned. We will upgrade the whole project and wait for
That's
the new
awesome.
stuff.
no
So
pressure.
yeah, I had like, yeah,
That's cool.
no worries about Lela doing a great job in the studio.
Yeah. Did you guys phase out the old songs, or do you still play those as well?
Yeah, we play a few of the old ones. Um, I think we have like we played a big release show 2 days ago for
Yeah, for the
Transience.
album. Yeah.
And even there, we played, I think, 3 songs from Aspire.
Okay.
So 3
So,
pretty
yeah.
old songs.
Still, so yeah, so they're still kind of in the
Yeah.
mix there a little bit. That's cool. And then so was that after record you did another album though, right? With the this isn't the first album that you've been on, Lela. You put
Nice.
out a bunch of projects after that, right? Or a bunch of songs.
Yeah, it's the second album actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solace was the first one.
Mm-hmm. So joining the band, I mean, you joined the band 2019. You said you guys go in the studio September, and then 5 months or so in between there, then this whole like global pandemic like shuts down the world. Like, what was that like? I mean, you guys didn't release the Solace album until 2021. So you go into the studio, it's 2019, you're hyped, you get the song done, and then do you guys go on tour and then you get shut down? Like, where kind of does that fall in line with everything?
Oh yeah, that was a tough time, I would say, but we made the best out of it, and we were lucky because we had pretty much shows to play even in 2020
Mm-hmm.
and 2021. So we played like these online streaming shows. We played a show where people had to wear masks, or where people were seated. So yeah, we had different options and we made the best out of it. And about the album, we really took the chance to even get deeper into the songwriting. We couldn't do it all together because of the restrictions, obviously, due to the pandemic, but we all were able to record at home and to write at home and just send it over to the next one.
Yeah, what was
So
that process like? Was that weird? I mean, you all can't kind of sit in the same room and collaborate that way. It's like, okay, Robin's like, okay, I got this part, and then he sends it to you, or what, however it works, and then you're just kind of like trying to piece everything together, right? At least at one point or another.
yeah, you could tell.
Yeah, I
Was
think
that like,
for me it
Robin? I mean,
was.
that's probably the first time you've ever recorded something like that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, back then we were like always coming to the rehearsal room and writing stuff together, then going to the studio. I mean, we even did recording demos together. So recording our first ideas was always a part where we all came together, or at least be not completely alone while doing it. But yeah, I mean, this kind of really matched the whole lifestyle back then, because from one day to another I was forced to do my work from home office, doing everything alone from my room. And then yeah, also that's the same went for recording stuff and songwriting in general. So it kind of, yeah, I mean, I missed all the other guys, and it's always more fun to do it together. But I would say it worked pretty well in this whole
Yeah.
process.
Do you think it
And
had an effect on the album as far as like the sound or anything like that? Just because of the way it was done.
not really sure about that, because we gave a lot of feedback to each other about all the stuff that everyone recorded at home, and we were, yeah, were interacting a lot about our ideas, and okay, maybe change this, maybe change that, let's do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of traffic in our group chats.
I bet.
And I mean, yeah, when we started really recording it, we came together and drove to the studio.
Oh,
So
once you actually put the whole album together, was
yes,
that mainly like demos that you were doing, like sending around to each other, or did
yeah.
some of that make the album?
I mean, I would say the songs were like 80% done or something like that. And with that, we drove to the studio, and then we changed everything a little bit, polished some stuff here and there. But that's usually how we do it in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, I personally was very happy that we finally met again, and we're all at
Yeah,
one place, and
sure.
yeah, be in one room together.
That's cool. I mean, to me, it's just still so wild to think like you all were in Germany, I'm across the world in you know, America, and we were both in the same situation. I mean, isn't that wild to think like the entire world was all in the house? Like, I just think that's so crazy.
Yes.
Like, it's so crazy over just one thing. It's like, okay, everybody, we're gonna stay inside, and then Germany's like, yeah, I guess we should do that too. And then you know, and it just goes the whole entire world is just like waiting around inside. Like, okay, like what, you know, what is going on here? Like, that was just, it was so bizarre to think
Mm.
that, you know, I was interviewing people in different countries and stuff, and they're in the same situation. Like, oh yeah, you know, I've been at home for, you know, this many months, or it's just so weird.
It really was.
Absolutely.
So
Thank God
weird.
it's over.
No, yeah, no kidding, right? What were those first shows like back? Was it like, you know, you had to play, your band isn't exactly the band that you'd want to see sitting down with a mask on. I mean, you know, once you had a chance to play to people and they're up and moving around, them must have been probably like quite an emotional moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think not only the show itself, but the whole concert, the whole experience of driving somewhere. Well, first driving to the rehearsal room and pack everything in the bus and drive to the concert and sound check and the show, and afterwards talking to the people at the merch table. That was something that I personally pretty missed very much,
Hmm.
talking to people and being close to the fans. That
Yeah,
was, yeah, nice to have it back.
for sure. And then what, going into this, you know, you guys have spent a couple of years on this new album, right? I mean, 21 to 24, and the record just came out like a few days ago, right? The 28th.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's new. You said you just played a show, like a release show. Was that in your like in Germany? Where'd you guys play that?
Yeah, it was in Bietigheim, Bissingen. It's pretty close to Stuttgart, so it was kind of a hometown show, big album release show. And yeah, it was sold out, so it
Nice.
was a fantastic show for us. Meeting a lot of friends, family, everyone was there. We had some great bands supporting us on this evening. Um, they're all, I think, all also signed to A Rising Empire. It's
Wow.
Alleviate, Mavis, and Auralize.
Okay.
So it was, for me personally, it was a pretty great package of bands. Really
Yeah,
like that.
that's cool. And then going into like this album, I mean, tell me about record. Obviously, the recording process was much different than Solace because you're all together at this point. Um, Tell me about like going into this album, like what was kind of the concept behind it and everything else.
Um, well, not only the way of writing songs was different, but the way we recorded the whole album was different than we did it in Solace. Because we hit the studio 3 times, not only one time. With Solace, I guess we were in the studio for once and just spent there like 2 weeks and recorded the whole album. And this time
Wow.
yeah, when we recorded the first 3 songs, we didn't really know that it was going to end up being an album.
Hmm.
Um, it wasn't 2 years ago, 2022. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
I think
22.
2 years ago in July, we released the first single actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And then so at what point did you guys realize like, oh, like let's just this all these songs kind of work together. Let's make it an album.
Maybe about a year ago or something.
Yeah, I would say like half a year ago, there was the moment where we really thought about thinking about concept for the album and okay, now we have to think about a track list and an album cover and all that stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, but before that, we were just like trying to write good songs and releasing cool singles to
Hmm.
keep the buzz high and yeah, just to stay relevant for the algorithm and all that.
Hell yeah. And what was like the you said you come up with a concept. Like what would you say like the concept of the album is, or what's kind of like the through line that ties it all together?
And then we thought it would be good to have like a closing point for an era. So that was the reason why we thought about putting all the songs together on an album, because, well, we wouldn't have to. We could just keep on releasing single after single, but we wanted this era to end, to begin a new era. I think it's good for the mental, not the mental health, but the mental state of just developing the band and the music.
Yeah.
And we realized that all the songs, they kind of come together in one meaning, that is transience. That's why the album is called Transience, because most of the songs are about just getting to an end point, which can also be a starting point, and to leaving stuff behind that you don't need anymore, to reflect on yourself and see where you can develop. And yeah, for that you need to close one chapter to start the next.
Sure. Yeah, I love that. And then I love the vinyl you guys have done for this album, like the splash that it has in the middle, like the color scheme. That's a really cool piece of that record. I love it.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then you're doing and with this box set too. Tell me, like, I think that's awesome. You can get like a poster and socks, which is a cool, thing I haven't seen a lot of bands do.
Yeah, I mean, we talked with the label that we really want to have a fan box for this album. So yeah, we were brainstorming a little bit about ideas, what could fit like the whole topic of transience, and then we also came up with the idea of putting in an hourglass.
Yeah, I love that thing. That's cool.
Yeah, which turned out pretty cool actually, and it was funny because our guitarist Valentin, I mean, yeah, I ordered like the 500 hourglasses, and then I drove to our guitarist, and he was taking care of like 500 small hourglasses, putting them out, scraping off the sticker, painting them with what's it called in English? Do you know, Lela?
Oil, some kind of oil, wood. Yeah.
Oh, you like stain the wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then what about the name? Did you burn that in? Like, did you have to like how did you guys do your logo on the front?
These were actually made by the company.
Oh, okay.
They had like some laser burnings
to
put it in. Yeah, but we like.
But they're limited, so there's only 500 of them?
Yeah, right. There are exactly 500 boxes, and after that there won't be any more. So better grab on.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I think they're so awesome looking, and there's a letter in there to your fans, which I think is rad. Like, was that difficult to write? Like, how did you guys come up with that? Did you all like input your own ideas as far as like what you wanted to say?
Yeah, the letter was also an idea from us. We wanted to have like at least one personal letter in it to say thank you to everyone who's supporting us by buying one of these boxes. And yeah, Lela wrote this letter.
Oh, cool. Yeah, tell me about the letter, because I can't read it from here. Is it in German? Which would be even more awesome.
No, it's in English.
Okay, never mind. Which is just as awesome, because then I could read it and understand it.
Yeah. In case my handwriting is good enough. I think Robin is not able to read it.
Oh, did you handwrite all of them? All 500? Oh, I was going to say, damn, that would be quite a feat.
Yeah. We actually signed we have art prints in the box, and they're all signed, and we signed each of them.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I saw you guys signing, like there's a video of you all, but it looks like you signed posters, and then is there other signed merch on your site that I saw? Like it look like you're signing CD covers too.
Oh no,
it's the poster.
Yeah.
Okay. Rad.
Yeah. Yeah, and writing 500 handwritten letters would have been too much. Yeah.
I figured. I was like, damn, like that's a lot of work for you all. But I love what you're doing. Are you doing a tour to support the album? I know you did the release show.
Yeah, it's
or
not
have you not
yet.
announced yet? Okay.
Yeah, not announced yet, but right now we are looking to early 2025 to have hopefully our first headline tour to promote this record.
Wow.
So yeah, this will
be. Are you coming here? Have you guys came to the States yet?
No, actually not. we would love to go to the US pretty soon, but it's a lot of cost for a European band to come over.
I heard it's a
do
pain in
tour.
the ass to get visas and stuff.
Absolutely, and the visas are like pretty expensive, and it has to be planned pretty good so that you hopefully could play like more than one tour in the year where you get the visa. So you should play at least 2 tours. And yeah, right now we're waiting for the perfect year to do it. But man, that would be our dream to finally have a US tour.
Oh, I would love to have you guys come here. I'll find a show for you guys in Nashville.
Perfect.
That would be killer, man. Well, I appreciate your time today. Thank you both so much for doing this. I love what you're doing with the album. I think the box is cool. I love the vinyl. I think that's such a rad color scheme and concept. And thank you both for taking time to chat with me today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Adam.
I have one more question for both of you. I want to see if I can get an answer from each. If you have any advice for aspiring artists.
I would say don't give up too fast. Just keep grinding, keep doing what you do, and sooner or later people will stumble upon you and hopefully love what you do.
Love it.
Yes. And don't think too much about what other people say, because there's always gonna be some people that don't like what you're doing and that don't like the kind of music or the kind of style that you have. But you have to keep being true to yourself and just be conscious about your own worth, and yeah, keep doing what you're doing.
Bringing it back.